Welcome to the channel. This time around I'll be working on the seat on the K11. So it's due for a major makeover. The fabric is really quite ancient, so it's obviously the original one. The black duct tape was holding on pretty good for a while, but it's done with that. And it looks like, I know it's been crashed, and there's a dent in the chrome molding here, so I have to fix that best I can. I did get a cover online. It is looks like pretty good quality. It's the same texture as the original. The seams are all in the right place, and it can come with a handle. So I'll be using this, and I'll get some foam in there and see how the rest of the seat comes along. This one here, unlike the more modern seats, has a spring suspension with a very small section of foam, whereas the more current seats are nothing but foam. So let's pull it off and do the repairs on it. Okay, let's pull the seat off. This is really easy. It's just two bolts holding the seat on. And the seat just pulls off. There you go. Now to take it apart. Here you go. The seat's off and ready for a rebuild. This is the underside construction. They use springs and a little bit of foam there. What I had to do is I had to soak the little screws that hold the molding on with some PB Blaster. I think I'll have to leave it overnight because they're not cooperating and see how this will come apart. So everything's pretty, well, it's what, 60 years old, so everything's pretty much on there. So let's get working on it. Okay. Supposed to be one piece. Whoops. Here's your cover. Foam came off of this part. Cool. There it is. All right. This is the foam cover. That's surprisingly good, actually. And has a rubber membrane down here to protect it from the springs. Take that off. But it's cracked, so have to replace that. Find something that'll do the job. Here we go. It's got a fresh coat of paint. Got new nuts for the studs. And it's time to put it back together. Actually, I've got one more piece. The centerpiece here has to be done yet. And then after I get that done, I'll start putting it together. I've got to find foam and a few other little items yet, but it shouldn't be too bad. We'll start with the top bar here. And get a bolt. Center support done. Now we start mounting springs. Start with the middle. There's your seat suspension. Now it's time for foam. This may be a bit of a challenge because
I don't have factory foam, and we'll see what we can do to make it work. I found this very dense foam that was actually part of a treadmill that I took apart years ago after I let the magic smoke out of the module. And this is it went under the traction belt, not traction belt, whatever, the walking belt, I guess. And it's really dense and really tough stuff. So I'll use that in replacement of this rubber membrane that was on there. It's a little thicker than the inner tube, but it was tough enough. It lasted long enough. But as you can see, it's quite done there now. So I'll be using this stuff instead. I may put a little liner under it from an inner tube, and we'll see how that works out. I think it should be fine, because this stuff, like I say, is really, really tough.
I'll just smooth out the foam now. It's cut the shape, the correct shape. I added a piece here because it was a bit too short, but I'll just use a 60 grit sanding wheel to just smooth it out so there's no lumps when I'm driving it. Wow, look at that. And it's loaded with static. There. This seat is different than the other ones I've done. The more modern seats with your full foam have a lot of sharp little tangs that all along the edge that pierce the vinyl, and you just fold them over and it holds it there. This one is different. It has little grippers spaced a little bit wider, and what it does is it grabs the wire that is sewn into the edge of the seat, and it's probably better in one way, but it's going to be really difficult to do it. But I'll give it a try because the wire is actually sewn in. It's a light gauge wire, maybe a 60 thou. So I'm going to try to do this and make it work. I hope I don't ruin the seat cover. Anyway, I'll give that a shot. Here we go, I got the wire set up. I started off with a welding rod, but turned out to be too stiff and too brittle. So what I ended up with is just a couple coat hangers. And it seems to be much better, easier to work with. I won't bother welding the ends, I'll just overlap them so they fit in the clips here. And there we go. And it's like kind of like playing piano. You got to have all your fingers in there at the same time. So there you go. They overlap here and over here, but they're not overlapping at one of these clips. Now comes the hard part, is sewing this onto the cover, setting it up first, getting them marked and pinned, and then I'll have to sew the seam there. Well, here goes. Well, I'll try to put the cover on. It's all sewed up there now. And this is actually a tile cutter. I just put tape on it. It looks like it'll be deep enough to squeeze the little grabbers in there. So it's going to be tight, I know that much.
Well, sewing that thing was not easy. It turns out that my initial inspection of the seat covers, I thought it was identical, but I didn't look at it closely. The old one had the seam going straight across, and it was just straight fabric here, or vinyl. This one with the more modern look, probably K15 style, made it really tough to sew when it crossed over and doubled over. So I hope I don't have to do that again. But anyway, it's time to put on the chrome molding. It's mounted there, put on the chrome molding. So what I did find was 632 screws seem to fit in this slot nicely. And I've located the the holes in the frame, and I've already pre-punched these things, so hopefully it'll go in okay. It's going to be a little tough, I'm sure, so I guess I'll try to go ahead and do this thing. I hope I don't lose any of these holes. I did mark them with white paint marker, so hopefully that'll help. So here we go. I'll get this thing together. Pull out. Slide them all the way. They're a little tighter than the original ones, but that's okay. I'll make it work. Oh, this is the area that was dented, so I have to straighten that out just a little bit more. Here you have it. Seats on there. The little chrome moldings on. Well, actually not chrome, it's polished stainless steel, it turns out. And there you go. Looks better than the duct tape. Well, that's it for the seat repair on the old K11. That was a unique seat compared to the other ones I've done in the past that were strictly foam and a seat pan. The frame and spring suspension is kind of different. Although that part was not too bad to work on. The frame itself was in good shape. It had just a little bit of surface rust. And the toughest part of that was getting the old paint off. It was really on there. So I had to start with the buffing, and then I put it in the glass beater to do the final stuff. And then paint it, of course. The springs were in good shape. And you may have noticed it, if you look at the original photos I may have posted on here, the top plate for the springs, when I first installed it, was backwards, so I had to reverse that thing off camera and fix that. But other than that, it wasn't a big deal as far as that goes. It's just nuts and bolts and stuff. So the seat cover was the most difficult part of doing. Getting that metal, I guess I'd have to call it a bead in there to give it a little bit of something for the grippers to hang on to. Getting that sewn in there was really difficult, and getting it right was really challenging. You can't make a mistake with this, or otherwise you'd probably ruin the cover. So you only have one shot at it compared to the more modern designs. But I got it done, and the foam actually comes out of old Corvette seats that I had done years ago, and it was still in good shape. So that's where the foam came from. I guess now it's time to move on to another part of the bike. However, that may take a little while because I have other projects going on that require immediate attention, and I'll get back to the bike as soon as I can. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.